All right, boys. So we saw a little bit of the gameplay with the Ragnarok Online 3 trailer, and this one right here is one of the kind of like the pioneer streams that they had in Thailand recently. So I took the liberty of taking a few screenshots, try to see if you can see like some additional details on it, and I'll be going through each and every one of them here. Right off the bat, we kind of see that they already are doing testing using third jobs, which is kind of like, it really shows you how far along the development for this game already is at and how ready it should be at this point in time, just because of the fact that, like, hey, if you're so far along that you're already open, like when it comes to like these third jobs, it probably means that a lot of QA testing has already been done, and it feels like the CBT and even the OBT most likely will just be more of like hype material, pretty much, right? It's just to hype the people up, just to, you know, let them see the UI looks clean, third jobs are out, and it really, I think that the game itself is ready to release in terms of the major parts of the game, and there's probably like little tweaks that they're just gonna change up depending on like public demand. But yeah, for the most part the game looks very ready, and this is the equipment here. So we can see right off the bat chainmail. One thing I noticed right away was that I would notice that this is your weapon slot right here. This is for your offhand, or if you're two-handed weapon, it occupies both. I see a cape slot. I can see a chest piece slot. I see boots, and then right here and the one right beside it over here, these are just rings. So there's not a lot of like equipment options that we're gonna have here. It's just basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total. 6 if you're using two-handers. And what I noticed right away is that you can see different values here when you're crafting, or you're, you know, let's say like you're crafting these from schematics. You can say 9k HP, but the range looks to be 9001 to 12.2k. So in terms of progression, you can kind of see that there is a bit of RNG in there. So like the quote-unquote like perfect rolls are going to be pretty prevalent here. I'm not sure if this is sellable in the marketplace, but that could be a thing as well. And you can see the affixes at the bottom here with the stats. They're pretty set, dex and vit. It ranges from 10 to 20, so I can definitely see a lot of value when it comes to selling these in the market, especially if you get those perfect rolls. So you know, something to kind of like already keep in mind when going up against like the gearing process of the game, that these could be the things that, you know, really influence your overall like rating or gear score. And here we see what the autos are. So basically what the game is allowing you to do here. On the left side here is the auto section. I'll show you in a little bit here, where like it's kind of like Ragnarok Origin. If you played it, you get to choose like what mobs you want to target. And over here you can kind of see, you can have a choice of like what skills you can have up here, and kind of like how you want to chain them, which ones you want to activate for, let's say like overnight sessions or something like that. So, you know, pretty similar to what they've already done. Pretty basic when it comes to like mobile games in general, but this one just looks a little bit more cleaner, a little bit more refined, and a bit more well thought out compared to like the you know, the standard right now in the genre, right? And this one is just basically your standard. You get to pick what target, auto mode on and off. This looks to be the range of like how far you're gonna be, you know, going off of your original positioning. And this one kind of just shows us the stats. Like it's pretty true to RO1: strength, agility, vit, intelligence, dexterity, and luck. And on the left side here, I'll have a clear picture of this, I believe, later on, but it's basically like all the other stats that you have. You know, there's going to be things like variable cast time in there, which people will be very familiar with, especially people who have played like, you know, the other mobile iterations like Ragnarok Origin, for example. You guys will be very familiar with the types of stats that they have here. It is worth noting that I believe some of the devs in this that are responsible for RO3 were the devs in Ragnarok Origin as well, so we kind of know where those resources went to when they decided to leave, or when they were transferred out of the Ragnarok Origin team. And here is just a calendar of things that you're going to be doing. I believe these should be like your daily missions here, and you get rewarded for it. These are your guild league already. You can see grand finals. Looks like guild league is going to be in like tiers of some sort, where it kind of operates as like a tournament style. And you can kind of see it here. It's like you have your guild league eliminations, you have your guild league semi-final, you have your guild league grand final. I'm not sure if this is like for a tournament specifically, or this is how guild leagues are going to be, where it's in like almost like seasons, so to speak, or it's like minor tournaments in the game. I'm not sure if this is going to be how it is for the actual game itself per server, or this is just kind of like a preview of the kind of like esports-ish vibe that they're going for, which if you watched Ragnarok Origin, it was kind of like a joke because it was just like who had the biggest wallets, right? But depending on how they want to proceed upon this game, you know, that could change, right? One can hope. And this is a clear picture of the kind of like the gear wheel that you have. That's your gear score. Again, weapon. This is a cape. I'll have a clear picture of this later down the line. This is your armor, your chest piece, ring, and then boots. And on the left side here, you can this is your party window / raid window. One, you can see like your first party, second party, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. And this one right here is just a preview of the skills that they have. So you can see right away general skill, which is your basic, your first job, second job, your transcendent classes, and then eventually your third job classes. So it kind of shows you that the skills are almost like all the way done all the way to the third jobs. So it's a very clear preview of what they are doing and how far they've come in development, and it really does come, it looks like they have come like a long way from I'm not sure like how long the development time for this is, but the fact that they have third jobs is kind of like insane to me, right? Like obviously this could be just be like in the works still. They're probably not going to release this right off the bat, but you know, seeing as the content is there already, hopefully they refine it some more, and then you know we get it a lot sooner than, you know, a year or like 6 months into the game. And this one's like a bit of a preview of finishing the dungeons. You can see normal ST over there. Divine Realm is what they're calling these dungeons so far. And you can kind of see you get diamonds. Looks like 10k diamonds, 25k diamonds, which is, it's kind of a good sign. It feels like a good sign. Because usually like when you see diamonds, it's like, oh god, they're gonna be selling diamonds in the premium shop. Like maybe they will, maybe they won't, or maybe these dungeons are gonna be the primary source that you're getting these diamonds from, and that's what's gonna be used as currency along with Zenny. But there is something that's a little bit more worrying down the line that we'll see a little bit further. And here you can see a gift box which has like choices to choose from when it comes to the equipment that you're going to be getting from these dungeons. And you can see these are the schematics, the blueprints that you're going to be using to craft stuff. Apparently, from what we see in this stream so far. At the bottom here, I'll explain these in a little bit. These are kind of like new-ish progression stuff that are going to be in the game, and it's going to be right here. These things are called Remnant Echoes. I'm not quite sure what these are for. They look like an additional stuff that you can have on like weapons or something, and they have their own rating. I didn't see a slot for them in the main equipment kind of window, so I can see at the bottom here there's like several question marks, which kind of connotates like rarity, I'm assuming, because later down the line these turn into stars. So it's very interesting what these are going to be for. And just to show you a preview of the boxes there, that you get Remnant Echo chests, kind of lets you, gives you a preview of the ones that you can get. Again, hopefully down the line we'll get some more clarification on these. If anybody knows, please post it in the comments below. Progression stuff that you can get from dungeons as early as the normal difficulty. So, and then after the end of the dungeon, kind of just gives credit, like the best tank. I'm not sure why a Synex is like, or a GX is the best tank here, but you know, best healer, obviously the High Priest, or the Bishop, and then top DPS is the Mechanic here. So maybe a bit of a preview as to like who the top DPSs are going to be, maybe, or maybe this guy just outperformed everybody else skill wise. And this one right here, after every dungeon, it states team auction, which kind of gives me the impression that you either auction it to the team and people kind of like bid using the diamonds that they get from different activities in the game, or potentially what it could be is that maybe the team can actually choose to, you know, besides bidding, maybe they can choose to put it up on the marketplace, and then depending on like which ones get bought and for how much, it gets distributed to the team. Again, this was a comment by one of my viewers, Myrmidon, who I've known since Ragnarok Origin. Just read they confirmed that they have weekly card, monthly card, and monthly plus card, which means that the game is very likely going to be pay to play. Not sure if this means that like this is game time. If Myrmidon can like clarify this one, if it's like game time cards, or is this like battle pass kind of like rewards, like where you have like rewards every day for a week or a month, or monthly plus cards. I guess we'll see. If it is pay to play, it would be a good sign for the pay to win aspect of the game, in it being more free to play friendly. I think this won't be too much of an issue, as the majority of the audience for Ragnarok Online are usually people in their late 20s or in their 30s or 40s, or sometimes even 50s or 60s, which have no problem paying any monthly or weekly subscription, right? So this might be a W kind of like move by them, and a pretty smart move by them. So, you know, we'll see. And this one right here is just a preview of what looks to be the auction house. So you can see right off the bat, since it was a kind of like a closed beta, right? 0, 0, 0. There's nothing in the market right now, but this is your Ixion wings, your T7s. There's the gear seems to be influenced by like tiers, so it's gonna look like the same stuff in different tiers. You can kind of see here, besides the tiers themselves, looks like there's rarity as well, because this one right here, Valley's Mantu, T7 yellow, but this one's T7 as well, same thing, but red background. So would be interesting to know what this is. The other thing that worries me a little bit is top right. Anybody who's played Ragnarok Origin knows that these are neon berries. So if they have monthly subscription cards, I don't think these should be here. And hopefully these are definitely not used to buy anything in this marketplace. Hopefully. And this one's just a preview of the map that they have that you can have pulled up. Tells you at a certain radius where the mobs are. This line right here tells me that this is auto-pathing. This one right here is the menu that they have, Remnant Echoes, which is supposed to be, I'm guessing the reason why we didn't see it in the equipment tab is because they have their own window. There's crafting. This is looks to be enhancing, as from what I'm told. This is Divine Totem. Dungeons, arenas, guilds, wardrobe, stall, which tells me that you can have kind of like an automated stall that you can put up while playing your game, which means that you will no longer need like second accounts like in RL1 just to have like a vendor account, right? And this right here, just preview the dungeons, right? You have your 4 choices here. It's basically the ones that you saw already in the trailer, so not a lot of surprises here. It does teach you mechanics if you were to click into any of this info right here, and it'll tell you what they do, tell you how to dodge them. Pretty straightforward, pretty intuitive, pretty newbie friendly as well. And just as a preview of that, it teaches you like this is the dance portion of the dungeon, and it kind of just like tells you right away, right? So that way you're aware before you even head in, and you can plan it out with your party. And this looks to be the same, a different version of the menu that we saw. So you have your sigil. Hopefully this is not what I think it is, because if you're talking about Rue, this is a nightmare. You have your Varus cores as well. So I mean, these two very, very similar to what we are used to in Ragnarok Origin. A bit worrisome, yes, but hopefully they have some way more free-to-play friendly iterations of it this time around. And down here, Academy, Guild, and most of all, Love. This kind of confirms that this game is going to be a dating game as well. And this is like the ready up kind of window that they have when it comes to going into these 10-man dungeons, right? Divine Realm, which is what they're calling the dungeons, and normal difficulty, Nessa is the boss. And this one I took just to kind of like see the graphical like fidelity of the game is pretty impressive for a 2.5D game. The way that they implemented this is pretty phenomenal. And honestly, I wish that RO2 looked like this. And it could have been a success even to this day. And here you can see the weapons. I'm not sure what these are. Probably card slots, maybe. But you have your basic stats there, and then you have your affixes as well. That being blue tells me that this is something that you can reset multiple times to get the stats of your liking. And this one shows you what is basically, or what looks like a fully upgraded. You can see like it has all the stars already, or the rankings already. Level 20 as well. Remnant Echoes. And you can see the stats are pretty substantial. 1600 HP, flat attack for both physical and magic. And then you have your affixes, which I'm guessing you can reset because this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pretty stacked. And I'm guessing is going to be a pretty crucial part of the game. And this right here is your raid window, up to 8 parties essentially, for like War of Imperium, Guild League, all that stuff. And this is a little bit more clear picture of the stat window. You have your presets, you have your classic RO, stat point distribution, basically everything that we're kind of like familiar with when it comes to like Ragnarok Origin. Again, the devs, some of the devs, or if not all the devs here, or a good amount of devs in the RO3 team came from Ragnarok Origin, so that's why we're kind of seeing these familiar stats, familiar traumatic features, if you will. But yeah, there's a lot to uncover, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing a lot more updates, a lot more details about the game as the kind of like CBT, like the CBT access starts rolling out, and hopefully we can get more clarification on this stuff. I'll keep you guys posted. The more info I get, the more videos I'll be posting, and hopefully we get ourselves what is deserving of RO1 in its prime, in the form of RO3. Alright boys, I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.